All right, to you joining us for A Measure of Marketing, episode 27, all about AI from shaming to shifting.
Shaming to shifting. I like how we were just chatting. I like how we were
Try
just
again.
chatting about, just different stories of how we've been using AI in our business and how we weren't before, and just how that shift really. It's been pretty incredible over the last couple of years. I'm in my third year of business, and I think AI came in with a huge bump, probably about 4 months in to when I started working for myself. And I was like, holy,
Moly.
what is this? And what are we going to do now? I remember thinking, oh my God, this is pretty mega. Because your business would have shifted a lot in the last couple of years then, because you've been running for 7 years without it. Well, are you on 8 years now?
Yeah, 8 years now.
Yeah, like 6 years without it.
Yeah, it kicked in for me 2023-ish, 2024, and one or two of my clients started to use it in their work, delivering training and learning and development courses for it to get it adopted across organizations that sort of come in and help, and they've done really well with that particular program. And then other clients started to use it in helping them produce content and helping them to create ideas for things and using it as a productivity tool. And so that kind of curiosity of mine that, oh, if my clients are using it, maybe I need to start learning how to use it as well. So I started to dabble and use it for my own business and for this podcast when we set it up, and we've talked about that before. But for me, I found it really hard because, and I've blogged about this and I've been on other podcasts talking about this, in that it completely contradicted my approach to marketing, that authenticity and that genuineness about creating communication and content. And that to me, it was almost cheating. It lacked that authenticity if you use ChatGPT in anything you did. And so I've been on a journey in that I didn't shame myself for using it as such, but I had a real challenge to accept it. And now I've shifted and I understand it better, that it's more about working smarter and using it in the right way to be able to enhance rather than, I suppose, undermine the use of Gen AI. It's you're enhancing AI's role rather than, undermining it or shaming anybody else for using it.
Yeah, I still do that though. Like I like your interpretation of productivity with it and streamlining and more efficiency. And I think I think that's a really positive way to think about yourself as well. Like you're not the faster you work, but the cutting out a lot of the admin work, because we do get a lot of admin work in it. So I get a lot of mass information reaching me at one time, either through meetings, through Zoom calls, on email. And a lot of the work that I seem to do is about summarizing, putting plans into place, taking all of that information and pulling bits out of it. And that takes a lot of time. It takes a real lot of time, and that'd be the bit that I would happily pass to someone else to do.
Yeah.
There's definitely a point where it needs my brain on it because of my experience in it. But once I've done that first bit, which I'm a control freak over anyway, like you've got your main points, then it still needs breaking down. All of that information does to some degree. So that efficiency of using AI for that is perfect in my head now. But I will still be like, oh, I'm not, like, I feel a bit bad for it. Still definitely do that. Not sure why no one says anything about it, but yeah, there's still something in me sometimes.
I think it's natural. I know of people that create content or create a blog post, for example, and then will actually credit ChatGPT or say, or well, say written in collaboration with ChatGPT. So
Yeah.
they outwardly are very, you know, genuine with how they approach their content creation. I think using it for admin tasks is such a great way of giving you back time and energy for more strategic thinking and more of the critical thinking that we need. And I did it the other day. I had to summarize something, or I can't remember what it was. I was working on a blog post for Amazing Marketing, and I had all this information. And for me to go through it and categorize it or put it into headings would have probably taken me about an hour. But with a really clever prompt, I took all that information, whacked it in, and just like that, it did it for me. And that, to me, I don't see as cheating, or I don't see as, I don't have a problem with that. I suppose what I struggle with is if it's when I think people forget that clever prompt with a human start, then the reviewing with AI, the human, then the AI, then the human. I think people just go with whatever is put out when it comes to content creation or anything like that. And I think people still got a way to understand it and to learn it more, as we've done, as we've, you know, used it as we've gone along.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was just thinking then about a scenario where I've used it recently and I didn't feel shame on it. So I had a meeting on, it was like an hour meeting. It was like a strategic one-to-one. So 60 minutes goes so fast, doesn't it, when you're in a conversation? So I'd had like a free 30-minute call with this person beforehand, and then we had agreed to do the strategic one-to-one. So I'm very like, I want to make sure you get absolutely everything out of it. I've got the basis of your business and what your goals are, and now we're going to dig into the detail. If I was to try and, I was using Google Meet, so I don't have the like AI companion set up, but I had my phone on a like little portable charger by the side of me. If I'd have tried to take notes in that meeting, I feel like I wouldn't have been fully present with that person. So I just used like a new chat and recorded it through ChatGPT the whole hour. And then it summarized. Like I had a pad and a pen next to me and made little like mental notes of things. And I've got a pretty good memory, so I could easily go straight out of that call and make an email and put all the key points down. But as a human, you will miss something. And that summary of that call was way more detailed than what I'd have been able to produce. So I felt like I actually came out of that 60 minutes thinking, yeah, that was the absolute best way there. She got my full attention, and then she got a really detailed summary of that call as well. And we haven't missed anything in all of it. So for me, that felt really good. Felt like a really good use of it.
Yeah, I did a similar thing in collaboration with a client. We had a call, and it was one which was really good, where they really, I say let rip, but they really let their thinking come out when we were talking about certain things, certain topics, things that are affecting their industry and their offering and everything else. And I said, look, I'm going to get the AI companion from this. If you're happy with me doing this, why don't I run it through ChatGPT, give it a particular prompt to create a blog post, and I included how many words, tone of voice, target audience. So that full brief at the beginning, like you would brief a copywriter. However, I wasn't expecting a full blog post that was complete or finished by any means that you would probably expect from a copywriter, or at least a good first draft. But what it did do is when I asked it to summarize her kind of thinking, what it allowed me to do is then send that back to her and go, right, it's summarized your thinking. We now have got a good flow. I want you to go in and put in some real life examples and augment this and extend it. Got sent back to me. I then reviewed it, proofed it, helped with SEO, keywords, headlines, blah, 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 headings, sorry. And then I sent it back to her again. So we're probably on like the third or fourth iteration, but just from that call where they felt so natural and relaxed to be able to talk, we've now got this nice piece of content.
Yeah.
So there's some real smart ways that you can use it that I don't think people probably, maybe they are using it this way.
Yeah.
It's having the confidence just to try it and see.
Yeah. One of the things that people keep saying to me, like business owners, and I think I'm kind of sensing that this is where the generic comes from, the generic output comes from, is that like the translation of what's in your head to actually then putting it into words and typing it out, doesn't always compute with people.
Yeah.
Unless you're you've got this just like natural talent to be able to be really expressive when you write or type. I think that's where the struggle comes from with people. So I've started using the voice functionality on it and just saying what I want out of it instead, because again, like you've got less action, haven't you, out of it? So I'd often have content ideas, and I'd write a note, but then I'd get to a point where I wanted to start it off, but I couldn't get it out for some reason. But if I spoke it, it would be better. And I feel actually if it picks up on the way that you talk as well, then it's going to get all of that genuine, the authentic tone of voice in it at the same time. Particularly for my own content, I'm happy to do that.
I don't know whether it picks up on tone of voice. And I asked this because I recently used it to brain dump a load of thoughts around why my dog was having a bit of an anxiety attack about going to bed at night on her own. And so instead of sitting there and typing it all out, I spoke into my phone and I wanted it to act as a dog behaviorist to give me some guidelines or some help so that I can make it easier for her. We figure it all out that way. And as I was doing it, I don't typically very much, but those pauses were coming to me while I was kind of thinking and downloading and offloading. And when I saw the prompt from the dictation that it had created, it had removed all of those ums and ers.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it picks up on tone of voice, and I'd be really intrigued to do a bit of research on this as to whether it does, to know if you were to upload a transcript from, say, a podcast that's the audio file versus the word file, whether it would pick up on sentiment and emotion.
I'm thinking like the words that you use to describe, and because everyone's going to be different.
I see. Gotcha.
Gonna be different, rather than speaking it out. Fully. But I guess there's I guess it's just moved along, hasn't it, so much. I remember when AI first came out and I don't think you could look on social media without seeing some post or rant about people using it. I feel like a lot of that has died off now. Do you?
I do. I think there was recently, probably about a month ago, I say an episode, I saw it a lot in my feed of people talking about instances rather than the actual examples, me seeing myself, instances of people shaming other people for using ChatGPT because they didn't remove the M dash that was included in their posts. I'm not a big lover of M dashes anyway. I like a hyphen, and I'm copywriter's worst nightmare because I don't use M or N dashes effectively. But this was a huge thing. People were like on their posts, like, how you're using, I can see you haven't changed it, but like, oh guy, this is what we're worried about, really, in 2025. Then we've got bigger troubles when the machines take over and Skynet comes into play. So
and I think I did see something not long ago just on someone's post, and it was talking about AI, and then some of the I instantly will go to the comments though if the topic is AI to see what people are saying now. And there were some that said, well, it looks like this has been written by AI. I'm like, who knows? Like, what if we just like the way that AI, like ChatGPT, lays out a post? Like, I just like the way it does it. So maybe I've just picked up on that now and I'm writing my own and just the same style. And I like adding a few emojis in. It makes it more fun. Like, so who knows these days who's doing what? And I do feel like the words like elevate and what all those words.
Oh, landscape, navigate.
And the heights of and things like that. Those have gone now for me. They don't use any of those words. Cultivate. As well.
No, it's changed, and I think it uses less emojis because I ask it to help me with sometimes with Maisie marketing posts. It's when my brain, we spoke about this in the last episode, it's when my brain doesn't work and I just need that starting point. We need something to get going. But I've noticed it doesn't use emojis as much, because I had one client where a typical emoji I'd use was a rocket, because most of their branding is kind of space, galactic, that kind of stuff.
Makes sense.
But of course, when everyone started creating posts in ChatGPT, the rocket was rife. You know, the rocket was everywhere. So you're like, right, okay, let's rein in the rocket for a little bit. And it wasn't me shaming, but it was that I wanted that authenticity for the client and that genuineness, because I was sat there typing them. And
even though you've been using the rocket for the last 5 years.
Do you know what I mean? That was their like little brand emoji, and all of a sudden,
yeah.
I think we've got a long way to go. There is still a shift to come about with AI, and some people have fully embraced it. Other people are still a little bit cautious. And I must admit, I'm going through that process still being a bit cautious as to where will we be in a year's time with AI. You know, what's actually going to happen. It's not going away.
I do think that you have to, with anything though, like you have to try it and work through it, and to know firstly how it works, if you like it, how it can work for your business, because there is so much available, so much AI functionality available in various different ways, that we're definitely not using it to its best potential yet.
No, and I think people forget how much it's ingrained actually in our personal lives without us knowing. From doing your Sainsbury's online order, you put in the word burgers in the top, and then the next time you go into the search bar, it brings up burger bats, cheese, tomato, relish, because it knows what you're going for. It's the same with Netflix or Prime. You know, it gives you these other ideas based on your viewing content. That's all AI generated. And so, you know, I've used ChatGPT for nutrition advice, for dog behavior, for creating recipes. And I think even if you were to try and do it that way to get used to how it works before you start using it as a small business owner, you know, you'll save time, you will, and it will help you. But I don't think it's going anywhere. So yeah, you're right. It's just a case of picking it up and seeing what it can do for you in the right way. Obviously.
I've just used it to write my next training plan for my next triathlon that's coming up.
Yeah, I saw that. Well done, you.
Yeah, and I didn't put loads of information into it, to be honest. Like, I could have put all of like my past times, my past race results, blah blah blah. But I just said like what I needed, as in, I've got this many weeks. I want to start off at this distance, go up to this distance. I've got this amount of time per week. That's actually the bit that each Sunday night I'd sit down and look at the next week, and I'd be like, oh my God, I just can't get my brain around how many back runs, strength sessions, blah, 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 is fitting in. And I've just told it, typically I can do 3 of each sport, 2 strength sessions. I need to do some stretching. I don't need to go over this amount of time each week on each sport. And it's just banged out this 7-week plan for me.
I think it is that kind of, I think for us, particularly as people, of relinquishing that control over something and letting somebody else or something else do that for you. And my husband's just done it. He's training for a 25k trail run. So which is totally different from the marathons he's done or anything else, because it's inclines, it's all blah, 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 I don't know. But he's now got a full like plan of attack for 10 weeks ahead of his, you know, the first one, exactly the same as you, and then working in nutrition and sleep pattern and all this. And I think if you know what you want from it, like you've got all that knowledge, you can steer it. You know, it's a tool.
I'd definitely like to like add more detail into it as the weeks go by, to say like, can you amend the next few weeks based on this is how I'm feeling so far, or like this has happened, my sleep's been affected. Like, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it pops out with. I guess all of the like Whoop and the, you know, the rings that you can get, they're all AI based, surely, aren't they? So
I think they are. I think they're I don't fully know. I know someone who's actually reviewing them at the moment as a piece of kind of like wearable tech. So yeah, I'll send you the link. Sorry, this is a sideline of the podcast conversation.
Getting in sport, that's difficult. But yes, we can keep having, I think we will be doing lots more episodes on AI for sure, because of how it progresses. And I do still recognize with business owners, like a lot of people will say, I've heard of it, but I don't know how to use it. Like, I think you can get really stuck in your own little world, can't you? If you use it a lot, you think that everyone else is, but actually I'd say like 80% of the people I talk to still don't really understand what it is, about how to prompt it properly or where to most efficiently use their business. And most people will also say to me, is it okay to use it in this scenario? So there's definitely been plenty of AI shaming, I would say, out there to make people think like that, or technology phobing as well might be going on. But
there's a lack of, I suppose, information about ethics and data protection, and it's just starting to come. So I think people are a bit worried about using it and privacy and all of that, but maybe we do another episode where we could actually give some more practical examples of how to use it for marketing, from ideation to admin tasks or data analysis. That's a great one for the small business owners. So
we could give an example, couldn't we? So we take a specific task on how you've done something and I've done something.
If anyone's got any requests, put them in the comments.
Sure. A nice short and sweet conversation.
With such a big topic.
Such a big it's bite-sized chunks, this topic.
Definitely, we'll get there.
Fabulous. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Yes, comment below if you have any requests on AI or just any questions in general. We'll be more than happy to do a podcast dedicated to answering those questions, and we will see you in episode 28.
See you in episode 28. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.